Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Podcast, where we try to help you grow your engineering career. To accelerate your success is one of our top priorities and why we share the information that we share. We just don't want to see people getting in their own way or moving through their career with these huge blind spots that we think we can bring to the forefront for you and address with you ahead of time. One of the things I want to talk about today is ignorance debt. And I stole that term from somebody I listen to quite often in the podcasting world. But basically what it means is everyone has things that they don't know how to do. And the time you spend trying to figure out how to do it and do it well is you paying off that debt. You're ignorant in that area. You have high levels of debt that you've accrued across your lifetime. This accrual of this debt stacks higher and higher and higher until you address it, until you pay it off. The easiest thing to relate this to is, say, your student debt, your student loan debt, or you've taken out a bunch of credit cards, trying to purchase things that will help you get through your life, and that ultimately you owe a high percentage of interest on in order to pay it back. You're accruing this debt because you have no means at which to not accrue the debt. You don't have the cash on hand to pay for these things that you need right away, so you accrue debt. Well, it's the same thing with your skills in your engineering career. The more time you spend moving through your career, the more debt you're going to accrue. The key is to pay that debt off as early as possible. So back to your student loans. Pretty sure you'd have a sizable chunk of cash flow immediately back into your pocket every month if that debt was paid off. So you're probably allocating a lot of your resources early on to pay that off as quickly as possible. Well, let's do that for your engineering career as well. So you know that feeling that you get early on in your career or at any time that you are working towards paying ignorance debt off. There's a certain feeling that comes with that. Frustration, taking too much time to get through it, so you just want to get back to what you know how to do so that you can have that feeling back that you're moving fast, getting things done, checking things off the list, right? So there's that feeling that you're getting behind, taking too long. You should know how to do this, perhaps. It's taking too long for me to figure out how to do this. Somebody else has to know how to do this already, and why aren't they doing it? There's all these things that start to build up in your mind, and then it ends up being frustration, and then that compounds on itself, makes you less intelligent in the moment, slower to pick things up. You know what I'm talking about? It's that feeling that you get, and maybe there's a time crunch element on top of that. You just wish you could get through it. That's when you kind of know you're in the zone of paying off this ignorance debt. Otherwise, you would just be crushing it at every second because you already know how to do the thing. Already knowing how to do the thing feels really good, so you tend to want to do those things more. And the more and more you do the things that you know how to do, the less and less you're learning to do things that you don't know how to do, and that less and less you're allocating that payment towards your ignorance debt. Now, experience from your time spent in your career, of course, will pay off that debt, but at what level will it pay off the debt? And how quickly? So what I'm really trying to get at is that let's take a look at what ignorance debt we are accruing, how much it's accruing, how quickly, and in what areas of our career. And then let's take the approach to purposely and proactively pay that debt down so that we can make room for other things in our career, perhaps tackling another difficult problem. So what are some things in your career that could be in this bucket of ignorance debt that you could start slowly paying off? Usually, a good target for figuring this out is looking at the role ahead of you. What are they doing that on a daily basis that helps them be beneficial to the company? What are the things that they're doing that drives revenue for the company? What are the things that they're doing that takes that revenue and turns it into profit? What are the things that they're doing to prepare for their next role? What are the things that they're doing that would make it easier for you to do their job once you get there? This is a great way to figure out some things that you can target to start paying that ignorance debt off. Another way to do it is to look around at your peers, the people at the same level as you. Notice the things that they struggle with. Notice the things that they're good at. man, how do they do that? Why are they so good at this already? What behaviors, skills, tactics, mindset, strategies, things like that? What do they do that I'm not doing? Could I be learning how to do those things? So looking throughout the organization at people that are at your same level and picking out the things that you see that they're doing well that perhaps you could be doing as well. 2 easiest ways to figure out what can I put into my activity list, my weekly activity list, and set aside some hours to go through some pain and figure out how to do these things. Look at your peers, look at the people ahead of you. Third thing you can do is look around and see what are people rewarded for the most in this company. What is upper management talking about frequently that they need to see happen, or that they wish they could do, or perhaps that they are actually giving instruction down the pipeline to say, let's make sure we're focusing on these things because we need more projects on the books. We need to up our utilization. Our project profitability needs to be better. There's these conversations that people are having that you can pull from, identify the key points or the key skills required to do these things, and then look for people that are doing them and being rewarded for them. That's the third bucket. So look peer to peer, look ahead of you, and just look at the general landscape to see what levers are being pulled that have the biggest effect on the company that people are executing on and being rewarded for. Now you know where to look. Let's start pulling some activities, some things, some skills, some outcomes, behaviors from that pool, and let's get them on our list. All right. An immediate example is someone who's an individual contributor versus someone who is in management. Let's say project manager. And let's just say the individual contributor is someone that does production only, just takes direction and gets it to the thing that is needed to then deliver. Taking direction, review, get direction, produce, review, get direction, produce. This is what the individual contributor is doing. Now let's say the project manager is someone that has many individual contributors beneath them, providing that review and direction to multiple people. Let's just make it very simple. There's many other things that both are doing, but we'll use this as the example. So the individual contributor could be doing, in my world, laying out receptacles. Okay, laying out receptacle outlets on a floor plan. Let's say, keep it very simple, a big office. Many of the spaces in this office are the same. Things repeat, but the work nonetheless has to be done. And until AI has completely taken that over and can do it within 5 seconds, there's going to be people placing receptacles, placing branch circuits, and putting the symbols on a plan. Let's say the IC is doing that. It's a big part of their job. They must do that. They're going to get paid to do that. What ignorance debt are they accruing at that point that they could squeeze in a couple hours a week on in order to start paying that off ahead of time and quickly? One thing that you can do is ask the manager for more. Hey, instead of just laying out these receptacles in this office space over and over and over again, how about you let me place a couple of panel boards? How about you let me draw up a one line and interconnect those? I can do those. How about we start diversifying the work that I get, and at the same time helping you be able to give more direction to more people and get more done at the same time. The thing about this situation is that you want to be careful about doing one task repeatedly over and over and over again over an extended time period because you're accruing debt in other areas and you want to be paying that off soon. So don't allow yourself to be pigeonholed into doing one task and doing it super well. As soon as you do it super well and you're super comfortable and you just do more of the same thing, you may be able to do more of the same thing quicker and therefore process more work, create more value in less time, which in turn will give you more profit on that project. You may be able to do that, which is great, but at what point are you sacrificing moving up, doing more, gaining more experience, and paying off some debt here? So think about that as you're moving through your career. Don't get stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again. There's a certain time at which that return in terms of your career advancement is going to be neutral. And we want high returns at all times as much as possible for our career. So ask for diversity of assignments, allocate hours, and spend some time in that arena where it's very frustrating, it's tough, you don't know the answer, you have to rely on resources, you have to call people, you have to ask questions, you have to research online, you have to look through textbook, you have to read code. You have to review existing documents that your company has created for past projects to see how it has been done. You have to figure out how it is being done, and if anything will be done differently in the future. This is that time where you might feel like you're spinning your wheels and not producing as much because you've gotten so addicted to getting your tasks done so quickly and efficiently, and you've been rewarded for that, and you're known as the person that can get these things done really quick. That's great, and that'll be a very strong pull, but I recommend that you watch out for that, and that you sprinkle in some suffering, a little bit of pain, and doing new things on a regular basis. It'll help you pay that debt off quick. Some companies will do this to you on purpose. Some companies will put you in a place where they need to develop you on this one thing, and you need to be really good at this one thing, and then just churn out a whole bunch of it, and they'll work you to the bone. If that's what you want, great, go for that. But you'll soon find out that someone else that has had a wide variety of tasks given to them and has been developed as an engineer in a broad array of skills, if you're ever competing against that person, you'll lose every single time. If you wake up one day and you have this one really solid skill set, you'll find yourself limited in your options to break free of that. Your debt will be so high. You'll have so much left on your student loan repayment and the credit cards that you've racked up. You'll have a very limited ability to start making headway towards paying that debt off before you can move into something else, before you can broaden your horizons. You'll be buried. Whereas this other person has been paying steadily that debt over time and now has many more options and can outcompete a lot of the people that haven't paid those off. And as you can imagine, everything being equal, with two people having started at the same time, having the same amount of debt, one works diligently to pay it off, the other one makes the minimum payment. Which one's going to be in a better spot 10 years from now when they want to go out and buy a house, when they want to make an investment? Who's going to have more cash on hand? Who's going to have more ability to save up and free up cash flow? The person that's paid off all of their debt. So I kind of just wanted to tie that concept. Very simple, very easy examples. But there's this debt that we are accruing. Just this morning, I am working to finish a project that was necessary, but that I have no experience in. And it's been going on for a while. And each new step that I have to take to finish this big project that I've started is something I've never done before. And it's completely new. I have to spend hours and hours, sometimes an entire day that I've allocated to do this thing. It's just all about researching, learning, trying to make sure I get the right parts and pieces, the right tools, before I can even start producing anything. And if you're a building systems engineer working for an MEP firm, and let's say you're an electrical engineer, and all you've ever done is lay out receptacles, when someone asks you to design the power distribution system from the service entrance down to the panel board level, and you've never done it because all you've done is laid out those receptacles and then passed it on to the next person to do everything else, it's going to take a while for you to get up to speed and then to be able to do that. So start paying it off now. So when that opportunity comes, you can step right into it, and that mountain of debt won't be there. You won't have to fight so hard to be decent at this next thing that you're going to start to do. So I guess the main message is have some variety in your career. Watch out for being stagnant, doing the same thing over and over again. Mentors will be able to help you with this and give you a variety of skills. I would recommend against finding one thing you're good at and then huddling or finding the one thing you're good at and then secluding yourself, isolating yourself off to do that one thing really well. While it's great to be known to do that one thing really well, it's going to hinder your career. So step out there, do many things, pay off that debt on a continual basis. If you feel like you're struggling for the 25% of your week every week, you're probably in the right spot. So I encourage you to keep doing that.